when we'd run into each other over the years, we'd laugh about that night that we first met. We'd laugh at all the good things that have happened since.
But then I get to the end of my life and I'll realize, you know what, I didn't win anything by doing that. That was a trick. And the only thing I won was being alone. Or being less connected to others, you know. And not only did I miss out, could I miss out on caring about people, but I missed out on feeling probably a lot of the love that people had for me.
I really feel like we don't speak about this enough is people don't realize how often men are experiencing a lack of intimacy. And the only place that they can experience that intimacy is through sex. We've created a society where men are so afraid to be vulnerable with each other, to be, you know, sensitive with each other, to care for each other, to love each other.
Is there anything I can do to help you?
I could use a hug.
I'll give you a hug. Seems like you got a lot going on, man. It's all right. It's all right, man.
I hope we get to the place where guys go, oh, I actually didn't need the sex. I needed to be held. And I live in a society where it's hard to be held unless I'm having sex. Because as guys, you can't just go to a guy and be like, just hold me.
Oh, this is nice.
There are many sex workers who've talked about this, where they'll talk about how many men will pay them and then say, hey, can we just talk?
I want to kill myself.
Fill this up.
There's no funding for men's mental health, and it's the biggest killer for men between like 21 and 45. And no one talks about it. No one even mentions it, lad. Men just kill themselves and no one cares. We need to change it.
I would have gone with you to the end. Into the very fires of Mordor.
You know what you used to be?
No, Pádraig, what did I used to be?
Nice. You used to be nice.
Or did you never used to be? Oh, God. Maybe you never used to be.
What do you want to be when you grow up?
Kind.
I don't want to need help. I don't need you. That's what it was. That's what it is. Somewhere a long time ago, I needed somebody, and they didn't do it. And so I decided at that point, I guess, I don't need you. The only person I need is me. And I'll be damned if I'm ever going to need somebody. I ain't needing somebody. I'll be damned if I'm ever gonna need somebody again.
Wasn't there to teach me how to shoot my first basket, but I learned, didn't I? Hey, I got pretty damn good at it too, didn't I, Uncle Phil? Got through my first date without him, right? I learned how to drive, I learned how to shave, I learned how to fight without him. I had 14 great birthdays without him. He never even sent me a damn card. To hell with him!
You get exactly what you wanted. You get alone. You end up feeling alone. You end up being alone. You end up being alone, man. And if you're not alone, you end up fucking feeling alone. And that's the same. That being alone and feeling alone, it's two different things. You can be alone, but you could be married, you can be in a family of 4 and feel alone as fuck. Because you don't want to open up. You don't want to let people in. You don't want to admit that I need help. I need help just with this minute.
In case I don't see ya. Good afternoon, good evening, and good...
Are you okay? Yeah? Have you been crying? No. Do you want to talk about it? No. Do you want a hug? Yeah.
Nobody trusts anybody now. We're all very tired.
I feel like I'm losing myself.
I don't want to talk about anything. I've been trying to forget it. It's dead. Leave it. Leave it. Let it lie. Not talking about that shit no more.
Why do I feel so empty, bored, unfulfilled, like something's missing, like I want something more, like there's this giant, bottomless, infinite hole inside me?
You know, everything's gonna be okay.
You can either live your dreams or live your fears.
NBA champion, how does that sound?
Anything's possible. Anything's possible!
It's your youth.
That's so funny. It's like,
How big would you dream if you knew you couldn't fail?
Mom, I just want an Oscar.
This is what high school students looked like back in 1998 when there was absolutely no social media at all. People back then to me seemed so much more happier, and it kind of just makes me wonder how life would have been if social media was never.
Don't underestimate the hole your absence would leave. You know, each of us, we're remarkable creatures, and we have something to offer to the world, to the people we love, to the world at large. It's our responsibility to make that manifest, and we move a little farther away from paradise every time that doesn't happen. Really, really.
How long would it take for people to notice if you disappeared? Joyce Carol Vincent was found dead on her sofa in Wood Green. Or at least her skeleton was found. She had been dead for at least 3 years, and no one ever checked on her. Her television was still on.
Loneliness is following me my whole life. Everywhere. In bars and cars. Sidewalks, stores, everywhere. There's no escape.
When I was between 12 and 15, I used to hug the clothes in my closet just to feel like I'm hugging.
When a hero stumbles, well, the cowards rejoice. Nothing feels better to a coward than to watch a brave guy fall.
Are you in love?
Are you in love?
I was.
That broke my heart.
I was.
You're never like this. She really touched your heart, didn't she?
They've gone to a club and they've picked the biggest prick in the joint. They've ignored someone like me, who isn't amazingly attractive. I don't have hench arms. I don't talk about my gains. I just enjoy fucking food, alright? But I'm a nice guy. I'm a nerd, alright? But you won't pick me.
Why is every pretty girl with a horrible looking man? I don't understand.
Listen, I'm not shaming people for their looks, but I am, though.
You give an ugly guy a chance, he thinks he rules the world.
How long were you happy for? Maybe a day? Maybe 24 hours? I'm fucking miserable. I'm miserable. How do you deal with this?
No, because if you're a lover, you gotta be a fighter.
How so?
Because if you don't fight for your love, what kind of love do you have? No, I'm kidding.
Well, you should be afraid of taking risks and pursuing something meaningful. But you should be more afraid of staying where you are if it's making you miserable. It's like you're paying a price by sitting there being miserable. You might say, well, the devil I know is better than the one I don't. It's like, don't be so sure of that. The clock is ticking.
Yeah,
and if you're miserable in your job now and you change nothing, in 5 years you'll be much more miserable and you'll be a lot older.
Most men will only experience unconditional love from their mothers, and some of us don't even get that. Most of us have never even felt appreciation or respect without conditions or hidden intentions. We don't know what it sounds like to hear, I see you, and I'm proud of you, I'm glad you're here. You really make a difference.
I just feel lost. Like, I feel like I'm aimlessly wandering.
When are you gonna take it?
Sometimes I don't. If I like a moment, me, personally, I don't like to have the distraction of camera. I just want to stay in it.
Stay in
it? Yeah, right there. Right here.
My 15-year-old brother took his own life 3 years ago. Every day I struggle with forgiving him because it seemed like a very selfish and weak thing to do.
You just have to show up for once. Yes.
Show up?
Yes.
I fucking showed up for you!
I think I have this thing where I need everybody to think I'm the greatest, quote-unquote, fantastic Mr. Fox. And if they aren't completely knocked out, and dazzled, and kind of intimidated by me, then I don't feel good about myself.
I can't do it! Why do you even want me? Why? I'm such a fuck-up!
This was kind of tough. I saw this quote that said, "Now I have to remember you for longer than I've known you."
Today, I decided to forgive you, not because you deserved it, but because my soul needed peace.
And when I lose, this is what I gotta go through. When I lose, I can't win them all. I'm human. I'm just like y'all, man.
Don't you be smiling like that. You'll fuck everything up. If you smile like that too much, you don't want to stick around. You're so hard on yourself. I love that you have such high standards. But those aren't high standards. That's called perfection. And most people overestimate what they can do in a year, and they underestimate what they can do in 2 or 3 decades. And you haven't been around long enough to have those extra 2 or 3 decades. So don't fuck it up. There's time. And if you give yourself just a little bit of time, and if you'll be a little more loving to yourself, I think you're going to find you got a lot to give.
Backstage, and it's like, ah! Everybody's a pussy, man.
can either live your dreams or live.
I don't want to live in a hole anymore. It makes me feel poor.
We are poor, but we're happy.
Come see, come ça. Anyway, the views are better above ground. Honey, I'm 7 non-Fox years old now. My father died at 7.5. I don't want to live in a hole anymore. And I'm going to do something about it.
I don't like who I am. There's nothing good about me anymore. I'm sick of wasting my time. I'm wore out. I'm really tired. I don't know what happened to me. Where I went wrong.
Talk about hang in there, don't quit, but they ain't been in your shoes. They say they have, but they don't know what you're going through. What I will ask you though is, can you give me one more day? I'm not asking you for a week, I'm not asking you for a month, I'm not asking you for a year. Can you give me one more day?
What's a better question for me to ask Jordan Peterson? How are you doing? How are you doing? How are you doing?
Big smile out of you, you're up 2-0. What's the story? Are you not happy, or you're only half happy, or?
Still to be happy about.
You're up 2-0.
Job's not finished. Job finished? I don't think so.
Yep.
On the show, freaking win the game. Don't put on the show. You win the game. Don't put on the show. You win the game. Don't put on the show. You freaking win the game.
Soon, you'll have forgotten all this because you'll be dead. And soon, all the people who know you, they're going to be dead too, and they'll have forgotten you. And so what's the point of being mean to people?
So in the same way you think about death. Go to sleep and never wake up. Never. Why, it would be as if you never had existed. Not only you, but everything else.
You call the snow leopard the ghost cat. Ghost cat. Beautiful things don't ask for attention.
If there's one thing that I, Steve Irwin, would want to be remembered for, it's be remembered for passion and enthusiasm. Conservation is my job, my life, my whole persona.
The ingredients in our bodies were assembled in the hearts of long dead stars over billions of years, and have assembled themselves spontaneously into temporary structures that can think and feel and explore, and then those structures will decay away again at some point, and in the very far future there'll be no structures left. So there we are, we exist in this little window when we can observe this magnificent universe. Why do you want any more?
Te amo, Nelly. Te amo, te amo, te amo, te amo, te amo, y te amo desde siempre.
You're distracting me. Go away.
I can't. I'm involved now. You let go and I'm gonna have to jump in there after you.
The world is not in your books and maps. It's out there.
What bothers you about yourself?
I just wish I just felt more comfortable in my own skin a lot of times, you know, because I feel like I would be able to be more effective as a person if I could just like kind of not toil in some of my own, you know, small self-worth issues or like lack of confidence at times.
I am dead inside.
I don't talk to anybody. Like, I don't even talk to my parents. Like, I don't, like, I live with my parents, but we maybe talk like 2 words, maybe like 2 words a day, like maybe a sentence a day.
Are you okay?
No. Thank you for asking. Because I don't talk to anybody. I don't have anybody to tell my feelings to. And I've never done this before. I've never like told anybody about my feelings. I just typically keep it all on the inside. Just deal with it.
Don't you be smiling like that. You'll fuck everything up. If you smile like that too much, you'll want to stick around. You've been so hard on yourself. I love that you have such high standards. But those aren't high standards. That's called perfection. And most people overestimate what they can do in a year, and they underestimate what they can do in 2 or 3 decades. And you haven't been around long enough to have those extra 2 or 3 decades. So don't fuck it up. There's time. And if you give yourself just a little bit of time, and if you'll be a little more loving to yourself, I think you're gonna find you got a lot to give. I can fucking feel it.
The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, or nobody is gonna hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get there and keep moving forward.
Half a minute to play. Play for the lead. So I think it's time let's have a toast for the douchebags. Let's have a toast for the assholes.
Now if you know what you're worth, then go out and get what you're worth. But you gotta be willing to take the hit and not pointing fingers saying you ain't where you want to be because of him or her or anybody. Cowards do that and that ain't you. You're better than that.
Many people say you're their hero, but who's your hero?
Who's my hero? All right. That's a great question. Well, I think my dad is my hero because he's someone that I look up to every day. And my dad.
I had a very important person in my life come to me and say, who's your
Interlinked.
Interlinked.
Look, I don't really know how... I see you in here a lot, and I think that you're really pretty, and would you want to go out with me? Ever?
Please go away.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Did they teach you how to feel finger to finger? Interlinked. Interlinked. Do you long for having your heart interlinked? Interlinked. Interlinked.
It's all about accepting who you really are. I accept who I am.
And who are you?
I'm the bad guy.
Oh, you don't even smile.
Do you long for having your heart interlinked? Interlinked. Interlinked. Do you dream about being interlinked? Interlinked.
It's not your fault.
What will you have after 500 years?
Look at that. I still have you. What's it like to hold your child in your arms? Interlinked. Interlinked. Do you feel that there's a part of you that's missing? Interlinked. Interlinked.
You just have to show up for
Show
once.
up?
Yes.
Show up?
Yes.
I fucking showed up for you! I showed up! I was standing there for you!
And all this shit, like, what does it matter? What does it matter? It just passes. Yo, if I disappear, like, who cares? Nobody cares, man. Seriously. Yo, and that's okay. That's life.
I can't do it! Why do you even want me? Why? I'm such a fuck up!
At some point, you gotta decide for yourself who you gonna be. Can't let nobody make that decision for you.
You don't want to hear that shit, Skylar. Don't tell me you want to hear that shit.
I want to hear it because I want to help you, because I want to be with
you. What the fuck? What do I got, a fucking sign on my back?
It reminded me of my dog, Callie. She died when I was 8, and she crawled underneath the porch.
To die.
To be alone. I don't want to be alone.
Within cells interlinked. Within cells interlinked.
You can be alone, but you could be married, you could be in a family of 4 and feel alone as fuck. Because you don't want to open up. You don't want to let people in. You don't want to admit that I need help. I need help just with this minute. Okay, and then that's you being brave. Now, if somebody then puts you on that, puts you down in that moment, or does that kind of thing, then you know who they are. Man, it's been the scariest thing in my life is to admit that I don't want to be alone.
Don't you know what I've done? Yes. But what will you do now? We don't change. Destroy us. No more. No more. We must be better.
Hey, smile. Hey, smile. 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 Hey, smile.
What's the craziest thing you got the ick for?
Smile.
I don't like to see happiness sometimes.
The fastest way to actually get rich
like
today.
smiling. Like, you know, after a party when you're popping balloons and like,
And if you give yourself just a little bit of time, and if you'll be a little more loving to yourself, I think you're going to find you got a lot to give.
You can't eat dreams for breakfast, Joey.
Then I don't want to eat.
Your future is whatever you make it. For making a good one.
Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming.
When the world turns its back on you, you turn your back on the world.
To make something special, you just have to believe it's special.
Your story may not have such a happy beginning, but that doesn't make you who you are. It is the rest of your story. Who you choose to be.
You can fail at what you don't want. So you might as well take a chance on doing what you love.
Do whatever you're gonna do, but you're not going to bully me. You're not gonna just stop me because my mother made me believe in myself.
Dreams are something you have to believe in. I almost gave up on mine.
But remember, dreams without goals are just dreams.